Hi guys, welcome back to episode 3 of the tutorial here. So, I've shown you basic army production and I've shown you basic defense. And this will show you how to do more critical attacking. I've left it a little bit of time just to gain some more stone. And I've let them build the rest of the towers, as well as our residences, just so we have more free settlers. That's all done, and I just wanted to address this here.
Excuse me.
So as you can see, this is a very busy thoroughfare here. We don't have these guys connected over here, so this path here is getting very busy. If you remember, I said stone roads will allow free goods. This would be helped if they were carrying 3 goods at a time, and I said there was a research for it, which I pointed out, which is this one. So I'm just going to get this done first, just because, although this would be more advanced sort of knowledge,
free as the wind.
and not really a basic tutorial sort of hint, I think it's something that all beginners should know about. This is going to cause problems, and when you start to get around the 300 settler mark, I reckon you want the citizens research, because not only does it take a long time for you to get more citizens at this point, because you've got so many already, so it takes 3 minutes before you get a new settler. You've got a lot of settlers being used for army production or for new jobs, because your resources are all coming in, and you want to try and keep as many free people as you can without building an army of houses behind that. Maximum settler count is 500. We could just build more houses and hope that that fixes the problem. But realistically it won't, because it's just a busy area. Handcarts would help that. So, the next thing on this list was potions. They are made from berries, and they are under the resources tab. And it's a berry press. We'll turn berries into potions. This is used for something that I'll address with the towers, or for research. So I'm going to build this to get that second part of the research done, and then we'll get the courier network sorted as well. We also sent some engineers just to expand our land a little bit here, just to give us a bit more area to play with. And I am suffering from cold, as I may have previously mentioned, so bear with me. Now, we know there's bandits here. I did a little bit of expanding, as you can see. There are bandits here on this mine here. So I'm going to use this army to take those guys out, so that we have access to that mine. And you can see how the basic units attack here.
Excuse me.
I did recruit more soldiers as well, so we can use these guys. By the way, to show the who's there underneath you, R1 will show you where your nearest engineers are. R2 will show you where your nearest army is, just for ease of navigation. Although you do have to be fully zoomed out if you want to see the icons.
Is there a job to do?
And I'll use that every day just to show me where they are stationed. We'll also show you what jobs they're doing, so as you can see those guys are building, these guys aren't doing nothing, these guys are expanding, and these guys are expanding. Okay, so this is our army of 27. I'm not going to attack those guys, I'm going to leave them there. Generally a good idea, if you're being defensive, to leave the bandits there. They'll just defend the immediate area they're in, so it's a barrier between you and the enemy, because the enemy would have to come around them or go through them.
Enemy in sight.
So here we go.
Our troops are tired.
The reason it's that our troops are tired is because this is a salt lake. In a salt lake, your units don't naturally regenerate health. Whatever health they're on, they're stuck with until they exit the area, and that's the area that you can see glowing. So that's the area of effect.
Our troops
So,
are tired.
for these guys that are injured here, we want to move them into somewhere that's not in the Salt Lake, and then they will regenerate. So this guy, for example, who's lost a little small chunk of his health, he will now recover more naturally. Now that we've got access to the mine, I'm going to tell them to go find out what's there. These guys, I think there's bandits here, so I don't want to expand too much there. They can just chill for a second. We might as well activate this totem as well, so you can see what happens when I bring the 2 hammers. Right, so we have a berry press, which can also be boosted by bread, so we'll boost that. We are producing more bread than we're currently using with the 2 coal mines. Our 2 bakeries are working really, really well. So we're using this bear bread to boost the berry press. Every time we convert those 2 berries into a potion, we'll get 2 potions. So, you know, just makes life easier. We've also found a gold mine, so now we have gold and gems as well. Gold is used for coins or for gears, which are used for gadgets. Coins are used for trading at the harbour, which I'll introduce you to later. As well as some research, or you can just sell it as raw gold if you wanted to. So,
Resources
how far away are we from our research being able to do? We've not made any yet. Okay, we're still waiting. Do we have spare berries? Yes, we do. Look at all those goods moving about. It's like a beehive. Very busy. While we wait for our potions for the research, I will explain about tower destroyers. So there are 2 units which can attack buildings and do more damage, including decoys. And generally, when you bring an army of 200 and you're looking at this, your next thought should be, okay, I ain't going anywhere near that. I'm going to build some tower destroyers, take this down, then send in my army. So let's grab our army here and pretend it's the enemy. I would camp here. By the way, with this I'm holding X to select where to go and then setting them to like wait in this area, like guard it. If you pull further away from that spot, they will spread out more. If you pull closer to the spot, they'll clump up more. The closer you go, the more clumped up they are. You can get a tight-knit group. If you want them a bit more spread out, spread it a little bit more, like that, and they'll all line up neatly. This guy delivered 32 hammers, so as you can see, this now has 20 planks in it. Again, if this was in our land, the carriers would not collect it. You have to tell the engineer to collect it, and he'll now set up a little deposit and start picking that up and delivering it home. With Maru, they can pick up or deliver 2 items at a time, so we will get rid of that pile a little bit quicker because he's bringing 2 logs at a time back with him. Okay, so we found 2 gold mines and 2 stone mines, so let's grab that area so that we own the land it's on so we can build on it. Here comes our army. So let's pretend I'm not me now and this is the enemy. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking there is no way I'm going to get my soldiers through. Even if I sacrifice, say, these 4, that guy would go bam, that guy would go bam, the decoy might go off, this one might not go off, this tower won't go off, this decoy won't go off. They're dead before they get close enough to these back towers, so even with a sacrifice that would not work. There are 2 other buildings on the military production here. There's a Order of Brum, which I will build here. You wouldn't build this outside your defences, but just for reference. There you go. And we have our shrine. So let's get those set up. Both of these buildings will use either potions, for the Order of Brum in that case, or in terms of both buildings, they will use gems. As you can see, we don't have our gem mines built up yet. So I will go ahead and build them, just so we have our production. As you can see, thanks to the careful planning from earlier, we can still access both of those mines and not cause any disruption. It would have been nice to get a line coming through this to here, and then this mine on the left of the path rather than this outgoing circle here, but that's just finessing it, do you know what I mean? It's not going to make too much difference. Okay, we have our potions, let's get that research done and out of the way with. Potions are now used in quite a few recipes. Some maps don't even have berries on them, in which case you will want to trade at your harbour for berries, and then turn the berries into potions, or just buy potions outright for your research. Now that we've done that second layer, we can now do this courier network, which will stop those queues, and I'll show you what that looks like. If you look at the top there, we currently have around 110, 115 free carriers, sometimes less depending on what they're delivering. Once this research is complete, watch what happens.
As long as there's peace. Research completed.
See the free carrier count? Was on 115, it's now 130. And yes, you can argue that they were delivering goods here, but keep an eye on that number and you'll see it grow. And the reason for that is, as you can see here, they're now using pull carts to deliver things with, and they will start using pull carts to pick up from as well. So you will see that even without a stone road, they're using a pull cart, which makes the whole thing a lot more economical and effective. So now, rather than doing this, where they're carrying one good at a time, they'll start to bring three. They will still occasionally bring one good, if there's not three goods to be brought. So this does tend to work better when you're at max production of everything. Things are very, very busy. But this will help us now unclog those roads for the goods that we are bringing more than three of, and just leave, you know, more effectiveness. Not really taking up any more room on the road or anything, and they are faster. So lots better. I'm just going through the research here, so I've just added 45% health to my units. We're now doing attack. Again, constantly focus on research. As soon as you finish one, try and get another one done, just because you need as much research done as you can. I'm going to turn off my toolsmith, because I completely forgot to, and run 194 tools, which is more than enough for what you'll need. There's roughly like 100 hammers maybe on the whole of the research, so yeah, we're definitely good there. Oh, we're not actually under siege. Our engineers just got a little bit too close to the bandits, and the bandits took them out because they got too close. They're what we call naughty engineers, because they or suicidal engineers, because they don't give a damn about their own health. They're just suicidal. Yeah, if left unchecked, they will quite happily go murder themselves. They'll just be like, you know what, I'm sick of Dave, he doesn't pay me enough wages, I'm gonna go kill myself. And they will walk into bandits. They are really dumb. Unfortunately, everyone requires a stern hand, so make sure you do manage them really well, because they are ultimately dumb. So there's our 4 mines set up, and we'll bring the path all the way back here, real long distance, but that will bring back gold and extra stone. We can even set up an extra logging camp now that we're at the regrown trees. Not here, because I've blocked the path, but maybe over here. Like this. And now we've got regrown wood that will keep producing wood regardless of the forester. As I've said, 2 woodcutters put by a forester isn't as good as if it's regrowing trees. So this will be more efficient. The only problem is because it's so far away, we've got to carry the logs such a long distance. But the actual cutting of those logs and producing the logs will be a lot faster than the forester because they're not waiting on trees to grow. They can just cut.
Everything and achieve what I can.
So we have our gem mines now up and running. We are going to boost them. These guys like meat, just like the weaponsmith and the furnace. Again, we're producing plenty of meat, so we should be good. Fair, we're actually losing meat now because we've got 6 buildings using meat, and we've only got 5 buildings that are producing that meat, so we probably are at a deficit. For now, that's fine. These guys will be boosted. They'll produce extra gems per time. Is it 25 a time? Let's have a look.
Oh, what a refreshing breeze.
60, 70, 10 gems a time. So every time they go down, they'll bring up a rock. This guy will bring 10 gems off it. Each pile is 10 gems. In here, you have your shamans, which will fling those potions, and it will do damage to a building when they throw the potion at it. You need a potion to make one, and then they have an unlimited supply on them. So you don't have to make ammunition for them. The potion makes that shaman, and then I guess he summons a flask of like dangerous liquid, and it's an infinite flask or whatever. You also have a summoner, which is a more long-ranged version. They both have around the same sort of health, 320 and 350. Not a lot of health. You can see whether it's boosted or not based on what research we've done. So because it's a military unit, they've got an extra 45% as well. Again, these guys do not have a lot of health. They won't survive that long. As you can see, the damage is 10 and 15. To a building, that is huge. To a person, not so much. Do not use your tower destroyers against normal people, because they're just not gonna be up to it. This guy does 30 damage and it has 500 health plus 45 bonus, so he's roughly 750 health, and he's doing 30 odd damage compared to your 320 health and 10 damage. It's not going to be an even fight. They're going to wipe the floor with you. So don't build an army of tower destroyers and expect to get through a normal army like this. However, if we were, again, this army is the enemy, and this was my enemy's base, as if I was coming up to it, and I had my tower destroyers, just an example. I can see here there's no army defending the towers. They're relying purely on towers for defense. So I wouldn't send these guys in. These guys would hand back, and I would use my tower destroyers to destroy the towers first. Once the towers were dead, I would then proceed with my army and just walk right in. Now, if they are defending with an army and towers, which they should be, it's a case of who has more. Because again, the bigger army wins. However, the army could destroy your tower defenders before the towers get destroyed. So what then? First of all, there's 2 different types. As I said, you have your long range, which is very expensive. That's 90 gems a time, so 9 different trips down the mine to just get one of these guys. These guys can attack from about the same distance as the tower has range. So, this guy, if it was long range, would just about be able to attack the tower, and the tower would just be able to attack him. One hit from this probably would kill him. So he wouldn't be able to get more than one hit off. There is a research that allows you to extend the range of these guys. When you do that, you would not be in range. Say this guy. could attack this tower and not be hit back. You could slowly, methodically destroy all the towers without being in range, and you're happy then. If, however, the other team has an army, what they can do is place the army close to the tower, say just in front. Then this guy would not be in range of the tower, because the army would be attacking him with your archers or with your warriors coming out to attack him. In that case, what I would do is combine your armies and attack with your tower destroyers and your army. You just tap square in the middle of the towers. Your army will attack whatever, and your tower destroyers will prioritize the towers. They will stay at the back, so your army would be like cannon fodder. They'd take the hits from the towers, and your tower destroyers will clean up the towers from behind. Plus, if there is an army here trying to defend the towers, they would have to engage your army before they could get to your tower destroyers, because tower destroyers are in the back. So again, you know, there's lots of different tactics. If you attack early on enough, just have the bigger numbers, you can walk past the tower. Good to go. If they have towers set up, make sure you've got tower destroyers. If they play perfectly and they have both an army and tower destroyers, then it's just a case of whoever has the bigger army to try and have more tower destroyers to take down the towers quicker than what they can build them, or try and have a bigger army so that any you do lose, you can reinforce and overwhelm with better numbers.
Let me through.
With the short range guys, they are perfect for throwing in with your army. They tend to do more damage to a tower, but they have to get just as close as a normal warrior would, so about this close. So you don't want to send in one of those and expect them to take out a tower. They'll be dead before they can kill it. But a good small army of about 30 of those will take out a tower quite easily. And you still have plenty left to attack more towers. And again, if they're behind your army, they'll do decent damage. They'll stay protected from the tower shots. And it doesn't matter that they're close and personal, they can take out the tower. The long range guys are best paired with the research, because they can stick out of sight, deal damage from afar, and unless they have an army to defend, you'll just slowly crumble them without losing anybody. By the way, the research for the long range is also in Citizens, and it's this one. And it's got 2 different levels, so you can increase the range. And that's, again, a very good reason to go for the Citizen path. Pool carts and dirt roads, longer range for your siege units. I always recommend doing Citizens first, out of the 3 special researches. And I will pull up the other ones just to show you what the other trees have in them. So now you know how to take down the base. That's it really. Basic soldiers, that's your defense, that's your tower destroyers. As long as you're following that, can't really go that far wrong. There is another element or another unit you can use, and they use the brand new gears which only came out very recently. You need a fine smith, and then you need a workshop, and the fine smith will produce gears which will produce special units. The workshop also uses gears, and I'll come to that in a bit. That's for your gadgets.
What have we got here?
I'm also going to show you how the harbour works. So we'll get rid of this and get rid of the path. We're good on this, so it doesn't matter if I destroy the building, just to show you where this gets built. Realistically though, as you can see, you can slot this in here. We want to go this way, and then you can keep your 3rd fisherman hut at the same time if you wanted to. It's only because I have poor planning on where I put the buildings there that I couldn't do all 4 buildings straight away. So yeah, I'll show you how the harbour works. What else have we got? Mint. Mint is what you use to turn your gold, raw gold, into gold coins. Again, we're not using that because we've already got the harbour for gold coins. We can just trade to make gold coins. And the gold itself is also used for the fine smith now. rather than gold coins, so I want to keep the raw gold as is, but you can turn the raw gold into gold coins, which does net you a profit. Raw gold is about 33 gold coins for a lump. If you turn a gold lump into a gold coin, you get 50 gold coins per lump, so you do make a profit there. Just by stamping the coin, I guess, rather than a raw lump. Coachmaker will turn donkeys into coaches. I've shown you those 4 donkeys with the carts. That's how you make more of them. Again, they are only useful if you're transporting 8 goods or more at a time. So in general, I mean, we've had 4 all game and there's only 2 that are currently being used. And I'm doubtful at that, to be honest. I don't think there is a resource where we're using 8. Oh, it's for the building, because we're building the... Yeah, so we need the 6 wood and the 6 stones. So they've gone to help with that at the moment. But in general, donkeys aren't usable. Why 6? Why not 8? I guess because 6 is fine as well then. I thought it was 8, but I might be wrong. So yeah, we actually used 2 donkeys there that I wasn't expecting to use. But in general, you don't need more donkeys. Don't build an army of donkey carts because they will not replace carriers. If you want to build donkeys for whatever reason, you again build the ranch. And I have another one somewhere. There we go. Instead of making meat, you can make donkeys. You can't turn donkeys into meat. They're too lovable for that. But you can choose which production you do. We want the meat because we need meat. How is our meat production anyway? We are running low. We do have plenty of wheat still left over, so I will do another ranch as well. Well, at the second ranch now. Just because why not? Farm, just to again help our wheat production, just in case. And I'll do another well because we now have another farm and another meat production. I was going to build residences, but we're good on residents, that's fine. This here is another important research that I'll show you in a second as well.
As long as there is peace.
Right, let's just wait for stuff to be built here.
I should go to the training grounds.
I'll just take it easy.
Okay, Finesmith is done. Finesmith will use raw gold, coal and iron bars to make cogs. Again, another building that can be boosted with meat. Be careful here, because there are now a lot of buildings using meat. So again, meat production, very important. What most of the advanced players will do is tend to use the harbour to buy their meat, or a lot of meat. Just because it takes so long to get meat and it's not an expensive resource. So I've mentioned most of these, and I've said this one's important and this one is important. This one is also important from the main menu, and it's Masterful Carpenters. And every house you have has an additional living space. As you can see, we have built 40 residences. So if we completed that resource, we would gain an extra 40 spaces for 40 more settlers, which is fantastic. And that's going to cost us 12 bread and 3 hammers. So yes, we want that done. Don't forget that they've already got the boost as well. So instead of having +7, they'll have +8. So an extra resident per residence we've built. And that will increase our maximum residence without us having to build more houses. We'd have to build another 5 houses to get that additional 40 settlers. Okay, that's done. Next one, +2 living space per residence, and that's 24 bread and 5 hammers. So again, more expensive, but again we're getting another benefit of more living space per quarters. I never showed you this one either, by the way. Ritualists produce on-the-spot healers. So these guys can heal your units. You put them in the back as well, And as your units get injured, they will heal them. Nice and easy. And there's a research that makes them even more powerful, and I'll explain that one in a bit.
Excuse me.
Research completed.
For now though, you can now see we're on +9 living space per resident. And once again, there is another third level to this. +3 living space per resident. So again, we're increasing the living space per house. Rather than using wooden stone to build a new residence, we're just gaining an extra resident for free. Well, essentially, well, once the reset's been done, obviously. But yeah. And in general, I think it's 42 houses. Let's do 42 and see if we're right. Also depends if they're all boosted, which I don't think mine are. I haven't built very efficiently with this with their houses. But that should bring us somewhere near maximum for settler count. Our harbour's now done. This is a little bone. This is the guy that initiates all the trades. And yeah, research is done, and we're on 4, 5, 6. So yeah, we do have a little bit more room. So let's do 5.
Did you see the game?
Each residence now giving us 10, so 5 next to each other should be 50. That should bring us to the cap of 500. With this, you can buy any good from this page that use gold coins, which show in the top left. Gold coins are stored by your warehouse, so don't store in the harbour. And if you press R1, we can switch over to the sell tab, which will show all our goods that we are available to sell. So, what you want to do is pick a good that you have more than enough of, that you are not going to use. So in this case we built too many hammers by accident. So let's say we want to sell 100 hammers. We press that. All the settlers would then bring the goods to the harbour. Again, donkey carts are fantastic for this because they're bringing 8 goods at a time, or I think it should be 8. So they're very, very useful for this. But again, I don't recommend using more than the 4 you start with. There's 32 goods that are good enough help, and we've got 3 settlers anyway, so might as well give them something to do. Again, they're just sitting around claiming job seekers, so they'll now deliver those 100 goods. Once those 100 goods have been dropped off, this guy will pick up the items in a big box, put them on the ship, then bring the ship, the gold that we've earned from that trade from the ship into this building, and the carriers will pick up the gold and put it in our warehouse. Vice versa, if you were to be buying, instead of bringing goods, so bringing money, the guy would bring the money to the ship, then bring the goods off the ship, put them in this building, and our settlers would then go and pick up the objects we've just brought. So, you know, we could be buying extra coal, we could be buying extra weapons, we could be buying those potions because there's no berry bushes on the map. You know, that kind of thing. That's trading in a nutshell. A lot of goods are worth more if there's multiple things that have been used to make it. For example, weapons sell for a really good amount of money. They are very expensive. And you could buy the iron and coal separately and make a profit. There are quite a few different money making ways you can do this. But in general, what I tend to do is sell whatever I've got excess of. So we had spare hammers that I was never going to use. We could sell our wood because we're going to make more wood. So we could sell a spare 100 wood and still have 80 left for anything we wanted to build, which isn't a lot at this point, to be honest. So yeah, we'd be doing alright. These guys are the ritualists. As I said, they will heal a unit. In fact, I should be able to show you that.
I will restore the balance. I felt this.
So let's go attack and lose this fight. But I'll show you what the healer can do.
What did I want to pick up again?
The upgrades to the healer are here and here. They're both exclusive spells for the ritualist or healer. And one
Enemy
you can cast to slow down an enemy. The other one you can cast to boost your own troops. So as you can see, he's getting hit quite a lot here, and we healed him 3 times. He did get hit so much we couldn't heal him anymore, But in general, the healers can keep a soldier alive. And here, once they've stopped moving, they will heal each other, so they're no longer damaged.
This will heal quickly. Training complete.
Training completed.
I'd love to go home one day.
Recruitment complete.
I hope I won't get lost this time.
Maybe the fighting will be over soon.
One day, I'll see my family again.
I hope everyone is safe.
When will people stop asking me for directions?
These goods.
I wonder if we'll ever find our ancestors.
Just one more delivery. No deliveries needed.
None of my friends are faster than me.
This is my easiest job today.
We need to gather knowledge.
I love
Just one more delivery.
What a refreshing breeze.
Love our new home.
Therefore, I was just chatting to myself there. I'll have to have a look at that.
Naturally.
Hopefully I wasn't talking to myself for too long there.
Naturally.
Healers have ooze and howl. I just showed you the menus for them. Cast them in battle, you could slow down enemies for quite a bit of time, or increase your attack quite a bit of time. And you can use gears to purchase special units, which I'm just recruiting now. They're called javelins for Maru. Each tribe has their own one. You also have a workshop which produces gadgets depending on what you spend the gear on. In this case, it looks like we're working towards a boom drill, which I will show you now. And that will give us a ton of resources to spawn outside the building, and our settlers can then go pick up those resources. So we just use boom drill to gain additional gems, which will just help us recruit more healers or tower destroyers, or be used towards research.
Recruitment complete. The village is growing.
We all work together.
Okay, there's our javelins.
Ready.
These guys have a special ability called Trap, which will stop the movement of the first enemy to step on it, which is Healer.
Research
If an
complete.
enemy walks through this trap, they get slowed down and stopped, and then our archers can do more damage while they're stuck on the trap. Mario probably have the weakest one out of the lot, because trap doesn't last very long to realistically make a difference. But you know, I like Mario for other things, so it's no big deal. Our harbour did complete the trade, so we now have 6.8 thousand in money, and we can now buy whatever we want. In general, most of the time you'll be buying basic materials for your buildings if you're a bit behind on them, or you'll be buying meat or whatever for your... I mean, we do need meat, so I'll buy meat. For your boosting, and because you don't want to use settlers to make that resource. Or you're buying gems so you can just, you know, spit out a load of tower destroyers. What else have we not covered, if anything? Decorations are decorations. Simply put, they look nice, they don't really serve any other purpose. If you wanted to make this really pretty, you could. You know, other than that, it's not really got a point. They're just for making the area look a bit nice, so that's all.
No deliveries needed.
I can now show you how.
I felt this.
So first we'll do sludge.
Like the wind.
Use this here. Drops the sludge. Any enemy that's in that range, when that drops, will be slowed down quite a bit. As for Hound,
Healing.
very cool looking. These guys are now boosted with 50% extra attack. That does stack on top of the attack that's been done in the research. So you do want to keep that one coming. If you're in a fight, you know, Howl on a big group, let that go.
Ready to serve.
And then as soon as you see that white start disappearing, Howl, keep it coming, attack with as much boost as you can, and you'll come off a lot better. Right, other reset, so administration and engineering, and then I think we're done, at least for the beginner side of things.
Delivery coming through.
There's all that meat. Just be aware that if you don't have the research for hand carts, when you buy 200 meat, you are using 200 free settlers to try and collect all that meat, so you are going to have queues for days. Even with our hand carts, there's still a massive queue because it's 200 meat that they're transporting out of the harbour.
Coming through.
So just be aware that when you buy in bulk like this, make sure you have the free citizens, make sure you have a stone path, all that research unlocked, so you're not using 200 settlers to buy, you know, to pick up that 200 meat. The other ones at the bottom here are faster attack, new settlers arriving in 40% less time, which is fantastic, long range hopping over, and this cursed ground, which gives your decoy bigger range. Definitely worthwhile doing because it will grab them further away and more of them. Very, very good. Administration's been unlocked, which gives us damage against bandits, which I really don't care about, but I'll do anyway. 2% ability damage per second per towers, that's the red tower, so the red tower will do more damage over time while that ring of fire is about.
Just one more delivery.
This one is reduced damage taken from buildings abilities for alchemy, shamans and mystics. This one gives your warehouse a lot more health, so if your warehouse and your attack, it will last a lot longer, giving your ally or you time to defend it if it's under attack. This one gives you more attack and siege damage near mining areas, so if you're near a mining area, you're better off to attack an enemy or their buildings.
When will people stop asking me for directions?
This one will give you increased health for your decoys, as well as a longer duration of sucking the enemy towards them. This one will allow military units to collect goods from neutral territory. Remember when those wood dropped here earlier? If I hadn't claimed that land, rather than sending the engineer to get it, I could send my warrior and he would teleport it straight to my warehouse. You wouldn't even need to go collect it physically with a person. If you kill an enemy's base and they no longer have a base and all the goods are just sitting on the ground and you've still got an enemy to kill, you can also send your soldier or whatever to pick up the goods and teleport them to you, which would allow you then to use those goods straight away, and you wouldn't need to build to their base or send engineers to go pick all the goods up. You could just teleport it using your, your army.
Let's try not to shoot.
Goods are well crafted.
I'll head home soon.
We also have
Family's
this
waiting
one,
already.
which units regenerate health even in combat or even when moving. They are also immune to the effects of swamps and salt lakes, so they will still regenerate even if they're next to a swamp or the salt lake, and they regenerate even in combat, so no matter what they're healing. As you can see, there's also an upgrade to Howl that increases your attack by 100%. Again, if you get this, it's really overpowered because you're effectively doubling your army strength as long as you have the spell available. But yeah, regeneration, great. Even while in battle, they're regenerating a little bit. In terms of engineering, you have engineers claim 2 hexes of territory at once, so they can expand the territory a little bit quicker. You've got 5 vision range for the first upgrade for towers, so towers will see further away. 15% shorter ability cooldown for your healers, so they can cast Howl or Ooze quicker. Donkey carts can now transport 4 more goods at a time, so 12. Ranches also produce twice as fast, although you still need 1 week per donkey, so you still need 2 weeks. You want 2 donkeys, 2 weeks for 2 donkeys, but those donkeys will come in half the time. 15% reduced damage taken when you're near trees, so if you're near a forest, you'll reduce your amount of damage that you take. Healing ability restores 100% more health, and when you heal a friendly unit, slows any nearby enemies by 50% for 4 seconds, as like they've had ooze on them. Then you've got 25% attack damage on enemy territory, which is great. And 12% bump bonus damage in a small area when attacking units using the Elementalist, Summoner or Seer. Again, you don't really want to attack a physical unit, but it does make them more effective at it if they're defending themselves. And that ship return just means that the trade has finished, all meat's been transported to the warehouse, and the harbour's done its job for the day. And that basically covers everything, guys. There's not really a lot I can explain. Again, this is a very simple, very beginner guide. If you've never ever played Settlers before, this will give you a good overlay of what you can and can't do in the game. I just built this just to show you what my army would look like if I actually recruit it. That's fine there. Let's move these 2 over. And we can kill a few bandits with boost on, just to show you how much more powerful we are now. We'll finish the attack research as well, just to help. Now, if you've survived 2 hours 50 minutes into a game and you still haven't seen the enemy yet, they're really screwed up. You want to get to this point with everything built, probably around the hour and a half mark. It honestly depends on what process you've started and whatnot.
What do I want to pick up again?
But yeah, everyone will play slightly different. I prefer making sure my economy is up and running completely before I do anything. But everyone does their own thing, so you know, do what you want to do. Do the process that you're more comfortable with. Oh, bear in mind as well, by the way, that these guys are, whatever they're substituting for, they're generally more powerful. So these melee units will be more powerful than these melee units, with a better reach. So it takes longer for the enemy to hit them. These guys can hit first. But they are more expensive, so you know, it's up to you if you think it's worth the trade-off. And again, that's another debate that's ongoing at the moment. It used to be that you would buy these special units with actual money. I think it was 200 or 250 a time, so it wasn't cheap. And you'd be better off just, you know, purchasing 2 weapons and having 2 normal units. As you can see, we've got loads of research we can do, and you should have been doing this as you went along, realistically. This will do though, I think. Don't need to get too crazy at the moment.
What's the target?
Enemy in sight.
Is there a job to do?
Research completed.
So we just gotta get revenge on the guys in the middle here, just because they attacked our engineers, and that wasn't very nice. But yeah, as you can see, we're pumping out the army now, so we're on 91, and they'll keep coming. Put on auto, so we'll just automatically make them. Again, manually is better, just because you can get the second line done as well.
Research completed.
But auto will do the job, you know. You don't need to manually it every time.
We need protection.
Mostly because it's so easy to forget if you don't auto it. Well, it's up to you. It's not really necessary. So at the minute, because we've sent loads of different groups, they're all just sort of shuffled up. If you, again, hold that X button, get them in a little order, they will sort into proper little ranks, look. And will be a lot better organised.
Where shall I go?
And then we'll say attack here. We'll do the hound to boost that. And we'll attack here. Again, keep that coming. Make sure that's active for the whole attack. And you will wipe the floor with the enemy. And he is in the back. We'll just heal up whoever's injured. We might have lost 1 unit there, if that. I'd be very surprised if we lost more than 1.
You need protection?
Again. Your healers will stand back quite a bit, so just be aware of that. They try not to get in the thick of it, which can be annoying for when you're trying to use your spell.
Troops are tired.
And yeah, even though we got this effect, if we complete the research, it's not going to hurt us. I don't think we did do the research, so we will get exhausted here. But the healers can still heal you. So, even with this guy.
Research completed.
If we just move him out of the field, they'll heal him. And they'll back on full health.
Job today.
I think that's it, guys. Honestly, there's not a lot more I can show you. It's just a case of finishing the research here, which I'm not going to show on this recording. Learn your maps. Just play the maps over and over. Learn what resources are available. As long as you follow the basic tips I've just showed you, you can't go too far wrong. Best people to play are other noobs, or play a casual game, just so you can sort of figure out the mechanics and have fun with the computer before you move on to a real player. I'll probably do an advanced tips at some point, but for now, this will serve as just a basic tutorial just to show you what buildings do, what the basic build order should be. Again, we focus on building an army first. You could focus on building your food production first. You could focus on getting all your research started first. There's multiple ways to do this, and everyone has their own preference on what that is. Me, I love building the economy first. I like a strong economy, then working on my soldiers. But that does leave me very vulnerable to being attacked early on. Or if I'm playing 2v2, which is generally how I like to play with a teammate, then I'm reliant on my teammate to then defend me.
Enemy inside.
Which I had a game day before, and that did not go very well. I did not get defended. So yeah, it's one of them. You have to find what works best for you. Building a strong army as quick as possible tends to be the main way people do well, but there are other strategies available out there. Now, my tower destroyers did run forward here to try and attack, which is very dumb. But I think that's just because I didn't amend the structure. Send these guys a little closer. Oh, this guy. This guy is a bandit leader. He has a lot more attack and a lot more health than a normal soldier of that type. So as you saw, my melee units practically all died there. They're mostly used to defend cross sections or an important resource. In this case, they're protecting the hill that increases your health because you create it with certain goods. But again, that's just a case of learning the map. On Lost City, there are two in the middle, maybe even 3 in the middle. The guard against any and all attacks in the middle because they just kill everything. So yeah, it's one of them that you have to keep an eye out for. I think that's it. I don't think there is anything else to bring up. Swamps like salt lakes stop you from regenerating, but they actually hurt you while you're in them as well because of the midges in there or the mosquitoes. So you will lose health if you're stuck inside a swamp. So try to move your army through it, but don't stay in it. There's also like crystal clear waters on a few maps, which like they usually have more fish in them, as well as the fact that they will heal your units quicker when you're in its area of effect. Great for if you're just defending somewhere you just want to heal a few units up. Or you've tried something with your tower destroyers but they haven't quite got through. Just healing them back up quicker tends to help if there's no healers available on hand.
One day I'll see my family again.
I honestly do think that's it. If you have any questions, guys, comment it and I'll try my best to answer it as best I can. I'm not a master of strategy and this is on PlayStation, so some PC buttons will vary, different to mine, but the gameplay will roughly stay the same. There's no like additional buttons on PC or anything. I think that's it. There's nothing really else to say. Try out with different factions. Alari is great for building a population early because it's 1 less stone but 1 less resident per house.
I'll try everything.
Jorn is good for building a cheap blacksmith and furnace and whatnot, so they can build an army quicker because it costs less resources. And again, check out their special units. The Jorn one can jump. The Alari one can fire a massive arrow for a big army and do damage to everyone. So there are some advantages in different factions. I prefer Maru because trading with the harbour's half price. So yeah, keep an eye out, learn all the differences, learn the maps. That's all I can recommend. Any questions, leave them down below, and I'll do my best to give you the answer to whatever you're asking. There is a Discord as well that you can find through the Happy Settlers YouTube channel. He's always got a link to the Discord there, and he does his own videos as well. They're alright for learning the game. that's it, guys. I think we're done. So thank you for watching. I'll probably do an advanced tutorial that has more pace to it, with some more advanced tips and tricks on how to beat the high levels like me that are like level 30. And yeah, keep an eye on my content. I do videos practically every week. And I'll catch you guys next time.